Okay, this is WVOF 88.5 in Fairfield. Jellybean Johnson will be here from the time in about 5 minutes. And right now, we've got a special guest, brother of the Electric Man. We have musicologist and multimedia radio man, Face Man. We welcome you to the program here. How you doing, Face Man?
Hi, fellas. How are you?
Doing good.
Face Man, how's it going?
Who's that co-host in there? I think I know who he is.
Yeah, you guys know a little about each other, right?
Who did he pay off to get on the air?
Well, you know, I have to slip those 20s to Joe every now and then, you know.
So how does it feel to be on the other end of an interview? You've done so many interviews yourself, working in radio.
No, sounds good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I just popped on here listening to you guys, and you sound good.
Oh, thanks.
Real good. I don't own a computer. I'm just kind of borrowing a friend's, but I found out you guys are doing your thing, so I wanted to check it out, and it sounds good.
Great. You got to, you know, dial up and listen up and hear some good real music instead of some of that pre-packaged canned, you know, production stuff that's out there now.
Yeah. So what's the word?
So how about some of your Minneapolis music moments going to shows? You have any special recollections that you could talk about?
Just that one that we went to. When was it? I guess it was 2 years ago at the Foxwoods.
Oh yeah.
At Foxwoods Casino.
Right.
I tell everybody that when I went there, you know, it was funny when you guys said we were going backstage, and I said to myself, well, there's no way. I mean, these guys have been playing for, you know, an hour and a half or whatever. There's no way they're going to want people bugging them backstage. And I couldn't. What struck me most was how gracious. And you mentioned this earlier in the other interview. How gracious those guys were to us. A lot of the horror stories that you read about musicians and things like that. That, you know, when they meet their fans, they're not the nicest people around. But these guys, they couldn't have been nicer. I was really floored.
Yeah, and Face Man, I'd agree with you. Even when, you know, I got to meet the first time with Joe, and it was like we were old friends, you know. And I know you know this, you know. We walked back there with Torrey Ruffin, and you know he acts like we're brothers, you know. And it was just good to see them real down to earth guys that kind of belies a little bit of the, you know, the persona or the showmanship of when they're on stage.
Yeah.
How about?
So what's up with? No, go ahead.
I wanted to flash back to some memories of Tramp's New York City nightclub, and the night it was pouring rain, and we were seeing the shows, right?
You remember that, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That was the Sheila E. show back in May of '94.
That's right.
And,
was that '94?
Yeah, it was '94. Yeah.
Wow.
And we had to sit on the floor like kindergarten kids, right?
Yeah.
But
actually, there were two Tramps experiences. There was one with Sheila E., and then the first time I saw the time was, I guess it was '96.
97.
97. Okay.
Yeah, April of '97. That's
I think
when
it rained that night too, didn't it?
It did. It was like a kind of like an ice storm. But you remember there was Freeze and Terry Lewis playing a bass simultaneously. Remember throughout the whole
That's
show.
Right. Yeah.
And that was incredible.
One of those shows we had to bail out early on. Was it that one?
Yeah, it was that one because it ran a little bit long. And you know, if you don't catch that last train, you'll be staying in New York City all night.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
Plus, we missed the 40-minute version of Gigolos Get Lonely too.
No, we didn't miss that. We had that. You know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you guys a call, tell you you sound good.
So
and,
how's things in radio? We know the Face Man's a noted radio guy. How's things going?
Well, I don't know who started that rumor, but everything's going pretty good, actually.
All right, Face Man.
Not bad.
Thanks
All right, fellas.
for calling in.
Yeah, keep in touch, and we'll definitely listen to you soon, and have fun on Saturday night.
Great. Yeah, thanks a lot, Face. We will.
All right, boys.
All right,
Okay,
man.
brother.
Take care.
Peace.
All right, take care.
Bye now.
It's music from a great musician who is a musical brother of our next guest. That's Jesse Johnson, and he's doing well, and we'll find out maybe some more, but we'll talk about the Minneapolis Music Sound here on the Upper Room with Joe Kelley, JD, and Joe here, and always one of our favorite guests and our listeners' guests to stop by, Jellybean Johnson from the time. And how you doing, Jellybean?
How you doing, Joe?
Doing great.
Jellybean, what's happening?
What's up, JD?
How are you today?
I'm hanging in there, bro.
Good to hear you, brother.
So I know this weekend. How did it go for you?
Oh, it was
kicking back.
Yeah, I'm just kicking back, man. Just kind of take it easy. You know, the last weekend I was on a cruise with Ronnie Baker Brooks for like 7 days, man.
So that must have been real nice going out and playing music on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I was like a cruise virgin, so you know I had my doubts, and Ronnie kind of talked me into it, but it turned out to be a lot of fun, man. It really was. We were on there with Tommy Castro and the Fabulous Thunderbirds and Taj Mahal and Tyrone Davis and Otis Clay. It was just a great time, man. Really
do you play a lot of shows when
we played 4? Ronnie did 4 concerts. We did 4 different concerts, and then it was a lot of jamming late into the night, with the various bands and stuff. So all 7 days, man, there was something happening. It really was. It was a lot of fun.
So you've been, of course, co-producer with your good friend Ronnie Baker Brooks on a couple CDs, and the one where we're going to play some tracks today from Take Me With Ya. And how about working with Ronnie on this project? We spoke a little bit in previous interviews about the different rhythm sections, but how about working in Minneapolis, your hometown, with the crew out there?
It was great, man. It was really great, and it really got to Ronnie because he couldn't believe he was playing with some of these guys and stuff. Because I used Michael Bland, I used Sonny, and they were in Prince's camp for like 8-9 years, and so Ronnie, with him being in the blues, he didn't think it would ever be a chance of him working with them guys of that stature and stuff. So he was really honored to have him on his record, man. It was really cool.
That's great. Hey, Jellybean, can you talk a little bit about what it's like producing other artists and playing with other artists independent of the great work that you do at the time?
For me, I need that. I need that stimulation stuff. I love my brothers in the time. I love doing that and stuff. I grew up with them. I learned a lot of my music stuff from them. But it's always a challenge to see how you fare with, other artists. And, back in the 80s and early 90s when I was producing with Flight Time a lot and stuff, it was always a challenge for me to get these artists who I grew up listening to or who I admired, or even the young artists at the time we were doing that I admired, to get them to kind of think, do what you want them to do and stuff. It's hard to do that. It's hard to make an artist that's out here trust you enough to do what you ask them to do on a record, because you have their career in your hands, So it's always a challenge, but it's great. If you can make it work, it's great.
Fantastic.
How about working? You both play. Yourself, you play guitar and drums. But how about working specifically with drummers? Do you get involved in how they play, or you just let them have their stage?
I kind of do a little bit of both. I let them, cause if I hired them for my project, I hired them because of the way they sound. But I kind of, let them do their thing, and then I put in suggestions in there what I would, do if I was doing it and stuff. And so it tends to work out and stuff. And I can have a good language with them because I am a drummer myself. So, I can tell them, and they know what I'm talking about. So producing, man, it's a great thing to do as far as communication, because it makes you interact with musicians. And that's not the easiest thing to do sometimes, especially with musicians, if they're good, they tend to have big egos. So it's hard to, to kind of get them into your way of thinking. But if they respect you, they will do it.
How about as far as your influence on production? I know you work with Jimmy Jam and Terry and Prince. And what did you take specifically from them, if anything? Those cats?
Well, I took a lot from them. It was great to sit, especially in Terry and Jimmy's early years. It was great to watch them, and I was fortunate enough to be around to watch them do some of their early artists like the SOS Band and Janet in her early years and stuff. And just to watch, that's what I mean when I'm talking about, getting the artist to trust you enough to believe in what you're telling them to do. Because that's the whole thing, with production. If the artist ain't believing in you or don't think you telling them the right thing, they're not going to give you the best performance that you need to make the best record that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing.
Jellybean, let me just ask you a little bit about it. We were talking to Monty Moyer before, a little bit about his solo project and the sense of satisfaction that he had when it finally came out. Can you talk a little bit about that, the sense of satisfaction that you feel when you're producing, when you're playing, when people are getting enjoyment out of what you produce, out of what you give them? What's that like for you, even after all these years?
Yeah, it's still, I think that's the reason I play in local bands around here and stuff, because at the end of the day, all of this music stuff is about the people. It's about satisfying the people that come to watch you play or watch you, the record buying public, basically. And that's what it's about. And the minute that you forget that as an artist, you're going to have problems. And that's the way I look at it and stuff. It's a great satisfaction to see look of enjoyment on people's face when they're actually enjoying something you're doing.
Right, right.
You know, it's nothing like that. I mean, that's almost indescribable.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that. You know, Joe and I were talking before, and I mentioned this in our earlier interview, that, you know, we've had the opportunity to follow your career, you know, for years. Obviously been huge supporters of the time for well over 20 years. And, and we've seen you a bunch of times. You know, we've seen you, you know, on the Triple Threat Tour, you know, years ago, back in 82, 83, you know, in the big places.
I was really wet behind the ears then.
We all were, I guess. But, you know, like Joe and I were saying, you know, I made a comment to him offline that, you know, I said, who would have thought that back in the day, you know, we'd have the opportunity to speak to you as, you know, appreciators of good music and of good musicianship, you know, again, because we have been following your careers for so long. You know, I mean, we get a sense of satisfaction when we're out there in the audience, and we've seen you guys a bunch of times, especially over the years. You know, we try to make almost every East Coast gig, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. But, you know, I mean, it's great just to be in the audience, to be, you know, grooving to the music and seeing all the other people getting that sense of satisfaction out of it, too. And that really must mean a lot to you.
It does. It really does. I mean, it inspires me, too, when I'm playing. I mean, if you can tell, like, you know, I've done so many shows over the years and stuff, and you can tell if the audience is into it or not, because, you know, I use that as motivation for myself, you know, whether I'm playing the drums or playing the guitar. And I think I've had this discussion with Joe. That's the differences for me, you know, between the two instruments for me. Like, guitar is emotional and drums are physical. But both of them, you know, you get a satisfaction when you see the people are into what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you thrive for. You thrive to, you know, be playing something that you're touching this person that's in front of you, these people that's in front of you.
So that's got to be like the reward for you.
That's the reward.
Right.
That's no question.
Well, with the time playing together so long and so many shows, do you know into a show early off whether it's going to be a special one or this one's going to be kind of tough?
You do. You do. And it's amazing, too. You know.
What is it usually?
You know, after the first 2-3 songs, if the people are into it. Sometimes, you know, they can fool you. Sometimes they'll be lackluster. And I don't know if Monty or Tori, the rest of them will tell you that sometimes, you know, early in the show they can kind of fool you because they'll just sit there and watch you for a while, and you're wondering, you know. But, you know, if you finally get to them after a while and they get up into it, you know it, you know, and they let you know, and then you feel that sense of relief, you know.
How about on the flip side with the band feeling? If you know somebody's maybe a little off that night, that it's going to hurt the band, or do you guys know as a group?
We know as a group, but that way you know, you have to play through that sometimes, because sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes you ain't feeling well, or sometimes somebody forgets something, or you ain't rehearsed in a while, or you ain't played in a while. That's going to happen. So you have to kind of play through that, and hopefully that you have a strong enough supporting cast around you that the other guys, you know, kind of offset that. Because there's going to be nights when you're not on. That's, Lord knows I've had those. We all, if you're a good enough musician, you're not going to always be on all the time, but you have to make sure that you own enough that you ain't constantly disappointing the record-buying public out here, the people that come to see you.
Right.
Because, you know, when they pay this money, they deserve to get a good show.
That's right.
It is.
So we should mention that The Time and Jellybean Johnson are coming into New York City for 4 dates in 2 days.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday night at B.B. King's Club in New York City. And B.B. King Blues is the website. You can go there, reserve your tickets. As a drummer, it's toughest on you, you say, for 4 shows?
It's very tough. It's tough on me, man.
Everybody...
Now, since I'm 46 years old now, and I mean, it's harder. I'm not going to, you know, try to mess around and say that it's not. When I was 25, 26, you know, 4 shows wasn't nothing.
Right.
Now I have to kind of gear myself up, but it's cool. And like I say, the people help. If the people are into it, you know, each show, it makes my job so much easier because it inspires me, you know, to work that much harder.
So
drums are physical. That's what I mean. Drums are
that's
physical.
That's right. Yeah, and you get back and recoup back in.
And get backstage and try to drink some water and rest.
Right. So you plan on doing some record buying or shopping, DVD buying this weekend?
Yeah, my money's kind of light right now, but you know, that's the scary thing about coming to New York, because every time I come there, I just go kind of crazy.
Right.
You know that, Joe. I told you that. Oh my God, I can't do that this time. But I'm gonna get out anyway. I'm gonna go torture myself and go to the stores and look. And act like I don't see nothing now.
So basically, it's like playing for CDs, right?
Exactly.
Right. After all the money you can spend in New York.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Some of the previous trips, man, it is utterly ridiculous, man. I still haven't listened to all the music I bought. But New York is, it has a lot of great stuff, man, in those stores, man.
Yeah.
Especially go up in the villages. Oh man, there's a lot of happening stuff up there.
So our guest right now, and he'll be with us till a little after 5 o'clock. Special guest. This could be the fourth time you've been on the show.
Something like that.
Yeah. As always.
Joe, you the man.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't mind doing your show. You the man.
Well, thanks, but let's hear some of the great magic Jellybean Johnson, Ronnie Baker Brooks created up in. You recorded "Bring Back the Love" where exactly?
We did "Bring Back the Love." Actually, we did the rhythm tracks, the basic tracks here, because that's Michael and Sonny. We did it here at a place called Angel Beach, and then me and Ronnie did the guitar overdubs in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is you and Ronnie trading off on the guitar, and how about choosing the licks on here between yourselves? How did that go?
We just, with me and Ronnie, we just kind of go at each other. He's a world-class guitar player. I'm just trying to, keep up. He got the bloodlines. I don't. I have to, I have to defend myself. So it's good. It's a lot of fun and stuff. And we just try to, have fun with it, plus make a statement at the same time. So it's cool. I hope people like it.
All right. We'll give everybody a chance. And you go to RonnieBakerBrooks.com and cop Take Me With You, and also check out the little interview in there. Jellybean Johnson makes some appearances in there. You've seen that one, right?
No, people have told me about it. I haven't seen it, but people have told me that.
Yeah.
Because originally, Ronnie was going to put that actually on the DVD, and some time and money, something happened with that, and I think he had to put it on like another thing separate, because it's not on the actual DVD. It's on like a computer thing.
So
people have been telling me about that.
Yeah. All right. Jellybean will come right back. This is Ronnie Baker Brooks and Jellybean Johnson from Take Me With Ya. Bring back the love. Bringing back the love. And yes, we need more and more of that, and the guy brings it every time. Jellybean Johnson from the time in Minneapolis, founding member of the scene out there. So thanks to come by the show again, Jellybean.
Oh, my pleasure, Joe. My pleasure, man.
Jellybean, I was wondering, with the time coming to New York City, we're all very excited about that. I know it's going to be a hot show, and the crowd's going to be really, really into it. Jellybean, can you talk a little bit about the dynamic of the group, how it's maybe changed over the years? Obviously, with some of the newer players, Tori and Freeze and Chance, but, how you guys, feed off of each other and play off of each other even after all these years?
Yeah, well, it's a cool thing now, too. I mean, the time is so close to my heart, and I remember in the old days with the old band and stuff, we used to rehearse from 11 to 6, 7 o'clock at night every day, and it was hard for these guys when they first got into it to kind of live up to that, but I think they've done a great job. They've been here 8, 9 years now, and so they kind of get it. At first, I was wondering, because the time originally was like a family. All them original guys were like family, and so it was hard to to get 3 other members that could get in with the rest of us and really be like that. But these guys have done that, and so I have to take my hat off to them and stuff.
Great. And we definitely see, having the opportunity to have seen you guys at just innumerable times. We see we feel the energy, and we just see the camaraderie there on stage.
They're family now. They like they were born to us, and now they're growing up. They've grown up now.
Right.
So.
And I can definitely feel it. We can see it.
Yeah.
When you're on stage. Jellybean, from a personal perspective, let me ask you, and I put this to Monty as well. When you're playing, what is like that? Is there one moment, one defining moment on stage where you're just like, this is really cool? Is there one part of the show or one part of when you're playing that really, really is close to your heart?
Well, with me, since I'm kind of like the musical director, I'm kind of all over the place when we're playing. I'm trying to, I'm kind of keeping eyes on everything. That's when I love being a drummer, because I'm right in the middle of everybody, and so I can kind of tell, what's going on and stuff. And I usually know by we do a lot of our songs in medleys, and so usually by the second medley, when we're by the time we get to the song "Cool," I know, what's happening.
Right.
You know, I know whether we're locked in or not, or somebody's struggling or whatever. You
Right.
know, and that just comes from years of playing with these guys.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. How about, on the other side of things, when, obviously I can tell that your passion is for playing and your love is for music.
Mm-hmm.
But the other things that come along with it, the traveling, the being away from your family and loved ones, and I know you guys do just a ton of shows, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
How is that for you, even after 20 some odd years?
It's hard. I'm not going. A prime example is me being gone 7 days with Ronnie and stuff. It's been a while since I've been gone 7 days because with the time we're usually gone the weekend or maybe 4 days at a pop.
Mm-hmm.
But to be gone 7 days like that, it kind of reminds me of like when I was producing, or like when I do Ronnie's records or produce somebody and I have to go, someplace else to do like Memphis or something like that, and you're away from your home. That's always hard, man. I'm not, and I don't have no wife. I'm single and stuff. So
right.
I have grown daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I have little daughters and I have grown daughters. So I kind of tend to lean on my grown daughters who are in college and got their own things happening to kind of keep a check on Dad's house and all that kind of stuff. So it's a struggle, but that's the nature of the beast, man.
Right.
You got to deal with it.
You do it for love of your craft.
Do it for the love of your craft, and hopefully you have enough loved ones around you to help you do it and help you deal with it.
There you go.
Hey, Jellybean, we got an instant message from somebody on the East Coast. They said, always a pleasure to see you with the time on stage. They're always a winner, but we would like very much to see Jellybean on the East Coast with Ronnie Baker Brooks. Is it possible one day?
Tell him yes. I hope that. I'm in Ronnie's band too, and I've been getting a lot of requests from people. Because I only can do Ronnie when I'm not doing the time, so it's kind of hard and stuff. But I hope to. I hope to get out there someday with him.
I took a ride on the Gold Digger van when they performed here in Connecticut. That was a trip.
I love that thing.
Yeah, they got warmed up with some Minneapolis Sound.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
okay.
to get psyched up for the show.
Okay, them guys that's like another one of my families, man. I got so many families.
Right. So
I love the guys in that band too, man.
Yeah, Jellybean's always in Minneapolis and hasn't left. He's originally from Chicago, but he lives in Minneapolis for so many years. And you mentioned about your gigs in Minneapolis, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners, if they go out there, are not well aware. You want to give the rundown?
Yeah, I have a band on Tuesday night. They're called JB and the Routine. The lead singer's name is actually James Brown. I know that's kind of crazy, but that's his mom named him James Brown, so he just shortened it to JB. And a lot of people think it says it's called JB and the Routine featuring Jellybean Johnson. So people tend to think that JB is me. No, JB is the lead singer. I'm featured as one of the guitar players. There's also an excellent guitar player in that band with me. His name is John Della Selva, and we go way back. He was in Flight Time when Flight Time was a band years ago when we were like 16, 17 years old, me and Terry and the crew and stuff. So I do that on Tuesday nights. We've been doing a club here called Famous Dave's. I don't know if you're familiar with the Famous Dave's around the country, barbecue. But we have like a bunch of those here, but we have a main one up in Calhoun Square here. So I've been doing that on Wednesday nights. We've been doing that. I think that's till like the middle of March, and we stopped that. Then Thursday nights, I'm still with the TC Jammers. Been with them for the last 9 years. So those are things in Minneapolis. Usually we have a paper here. If you ever come to town, there's a paper here called the City Pages, and it lists all the stuff we usually has us in there where we are.
That's the hip newspaper out there, right?
That's the hip newspaper. That's the music newspaper. It tells you all week what bands are playing and everything. So you want to grab that paper, and usually you can find it like at barbecues and bars and stuff like that.
So hey, Jellybean, I got an update on Jesse Johnson for you.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because I got an email from a sister. She's a recording artist out of L.A., and I sent her the Minneapolis special, and she emailed back and said, it's funny, right now Jesse Johnson's in our family's living room out in California.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, and they said he's busy doing stuff. So, have you talked with him?
I have not talked to him, and it's funny, man. We tour a lot of these other old school bands, like Steve Shockley from Lakeside. Mm-hmm. He's a friend, so Jesse talks to Jesse all the time, man. And some of the other cats out there, you see him. I haven't talked to him over a year. If anybody talks to him, I'm saying this on the air, please tell Jesse to call Jellybean. So I might cuss him out, but that's okay.
Right.
I love him, man. We go way back. I learned a lot of stuff on the guitar from him, man. I really did, just by watching him, just by being in a band with him. I mean, Jesse is a world-class guitar player. I never have any problems telling people that. You know, he is world-class. And I wish he would play out more, you know, but, you know, we all got to do what we got to do.
Yes, sir. Actually, we wish he'd play out more, too. Jellybean, you know, Joe was just mentioning, you know, originally from Chicago and now out in Minneapolis, and, you know, we've obviously been talking about music. Can you talk a little bit about your influences? I mean, you know, you alluded back to when you were, you know, in Flight Time, 16, 17 years old. Who were you listening to? I mean, who really, you know, inspired you as you were, you know, starting to form your skill as a musician?
Okay. For guitar, when I was that age, it was Hendrix and Funkadelic.
Mm-hmm.
All the guitar players in Funkadelic, and I listened to a lot of white rock bands too. I was into the James Gang back then, Led Zeppelin. Who else? I know I'm leaving a bunch of people out that, you know, really influenced me. As far as drums, when I was 16 or 17, Flight Time it was about 13 of us, so we were into we had like 4 or 5 horns, so we were into the Tower Powers and the Cold Bloods and James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
All the horn bands, Barcades, Ohio Players. So that, you know, I had this whole, you know, smorgasbord of different influences and stuff when I played each instrument.
Right.
So that's what, you know, kind of kept me going and stuff.
Kind of a whole different type of variety of music.
A whole different variety. And, you know, and it really started for me when I moved to Minnesota, you know, because when I was in Chicago, as diverse as Chicago is, I was just mostly on the black. You know, it was black radio 24 hours a day, so I heard all the black stuff. When I moved to Minnesota, that's when I got turned on to the white radio, and it changed, you know, my way of thinking, you know, as far as music, too. I mean, into the Three Dog Nights and the pop. I think to this day, this is the very reason Prince is as different and diverse as he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he grew up listening to all these different Chicago, your Blood, Sweat, and Tears, you know, all that kind of stuff, which I didn't hear when I was in Chicago.
Right.
You know? I didn't hear that on black radio. Everything was like Tyrone Davis. It was the Chicago scene, which was great,
mm-hmm.
you know, but when I moved here, it changed me.
So Jellybean, of a lot of the musicians, the ones who aren't currently, you know, touring with Prince or recording up at Paisley Park, it always seems that you turn up on some jam sessions out at Paisley Park once in a while, and I've never been over there to see one of those, but how does that usually come about?
Well, he stopped doing it recently so much, but, you know, like from 93, 94, all the way up to early 2000, every Friday night he would have a party out of Paisley, and it would go to like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And if he saw me in the crowd, he'd just call me.
Right. Yeah,
he'll put you on the spot. Prince don't care, man. He will put you on the spot. I cannot tell you. And the Europeans, you know, knew that too. So, you know, they heard a lot of them. You know, they bootlegged a lot of those jam sessions off him over there. I know Prince probably wouldn't like me saying that, but it's true. He knows it. But you know, they've seen that over the years. You know, to jam sessions to 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, well, not only me, but just a ton of great musicians, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just call them up out of the audience, or they just be there hanging out. Or if bands come there to play in concert, I remember I hung out with him and Lenny Kravitz in there one night till like, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So wow. You never know who you might see at Paisley, man.
Right. so let me ask you, I know a lot of our fans, you know, I'm sure you get hit with this all the time about an upcoming Time album, but let's say in a perfect world, the Time got to do a proper album with some of the original cats and some of the people you have now, and maybe it's sprinkling a Prince in there. What could we expect that would come out of the playing as you see you guys these days?
I think it would be very dynamic, man. I mean, you know, just with the cats we got now, just the old cats' reputation speaks for themselves. So, you know, with that and then with Prince too, I think it would be very, very. Oh man, I'm scared to even think about what it would be, man. I really would. You know, I always thought that the Time had the potential to be one of the biggest black bands ever. You know, I really believe that, and we've always had some kind of roadblocks or train wrecks or whatever, you know, over the years what happened to us. But I really thought that we've had a good chance of being that, and I think we've done a good job of keeping our reputation intact. But
yes, sir.
You know, it's you know, I sometimes I always, you know, think about what could have been, but you can't do that. You got to move on. But hopefully someday, you know, Joe, you know that record thing is a bitter spot with me. You know that.
Right. Yeah. That's
why.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, it should be out. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Jellybean, can you talk a little bit about what it was like when, the time first made it big. Monty alluded to, a lot of things being thrown at you right away.
Yeah.
I mean, you're young guys, you're out there touring.
Yeah.
There was a comment I think that Jesse made, in an interview I read a few years back where he said, you guys couldn't even go to the shopping mall.
We couldn't, and that's what I'm alluding to when I'm saying I really thought we had a chance to be the Black Beatles. And I know that's a heavy statement to be saying that, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. I really thought that this band had, when we first came out, it was ridiculous. I remember us being downtown Pittsburgh and just literally being swarmed by people and stuff. It just the six of us walked it. Actually, seven. Jerome was there then, but Jerome was mostly ballet then. Nobody knew, nobody know Jerome then, but he used to be with us all the time.
Right.
And just us walking the streets with long trench coats and stuff and just looking sinister, and just people just all over us, man. We looked like a gang. We really did. And it was great. It was great. And then go to do the concerts and girls lose their mind.
Right.
It was funny, man, in the days when us, Vanity Six and Prince, it was funny, because we would play for Vanity Six, beforehand. And all the guys, this is the true statement, I don't know if Monty or Jesse and them told you, but all the guys during the Vanity 25 minutes would come up and just bogart their way to the front, right? The minute we hit the stage at the time, all the girls would move up front. It was crazy, man. And we used to sit back and laugh at that. It was totally crazy, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But you still get that same sense of satisfaction, that same charge out of playing, even to this day, correct?
Even to this day, be it guitar or drums, even to this day, I love, and sometimes I think I'm losing my mind. I just love that rush that you get from when people are, excited about seeing you.
Right.
About excited is that you're in their town to play for them. It's nothing like that, man.
And I suppose, it's also kind of rare because I know that there are, the people who really get to do what they love for a living and make that their life are few and far between.
It's few and far between, man. It's hard. It's very hard. This stuff, I tell people that all the time, this is no easy job to have. They think it is. They just see the glamour and all that stuff. It's a lot that, to keep this going, man.
Right. Well, and I certainly remember seeing you. I think it was the first time we met was back in the backstage of B.B. King's nightclub about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we saw you in between shows, and I could tell you were feeling it.
Yeah.
After the show, and then of course having to go on and do another show. After that.
Yeah,
but
you have to find the energy, and the people who give you the energy. That's how all it is. If you know that you're going to have a good time out there, and the place is buzzing and stuff, you will find the energy to do a good show. If not, then you will drag, and it'll be disappointing, man.
Right.
That's how it is.
So the time will be coming into New York City for 2 shows, Friday and Saturday evening at B.B. King's Club in New York City in Times Square, bbkingblues.com, and it's 2 shows. And get there, say hi to the fellas, and it's guaranteed to be a great weekend. You usually just get in there and there a couple days, 2-3 days, right?
Yeah, we're just there Friday and Saturday night.
Right.
Yep, so it should be fun. I haven't been to New York since before 9/11, man, so it's going to be kind of emotional for me. It really is.
So we're looking forward to seeing you there. Hey, Jellybean, we're all sports fans here.
Oh, here we go.
Here he goes.
Last year,
I love Joe.
Oh, we love you too. So it was last year you were on the money. I believe you predicted Shaq.
Yeah.
How about this year? How do you see the NBA season going?
I think Sacramento's going to beat everybody, man. Eventually, I just believe that. I'm going to give y'all a few Jellybean secrets. I think if the Lakers are going to get in the playoffs, I think they'll probably have the 7th or 8th spot. I'm hoping they have the 8th spot so Dallas can have number 1 spot so they can put Dallas out right away. Man, I am tired of the Mavericks. I'm tired of them.
So do you get to go out and see the Timberwolves?
I haven't been to see them, man, in a long time and stuff. I'm going to tell you why. I tell people, and they kind of laugh when I tell them, but this is the honest to God truth. Every time I get up to go downtown and see the Timberwolves, they get blown out. I've had my daughter, my 20-year-old has got me tickets. Dad, let's go see the game and stuff. Okay, so we get up, we go down there, go up in Terry Jimmy's suite and sit there and watch. And they get blown out by 20 or 30 points. I stay at home, watch them, they do fine. So, I just stay at home and watch them and hope for the best. They're overachieving this year because once you get past Garnett and Serbiak, they don't really have that much, but they're overachieving. And I think that's a compliment to their coach, you know.
Jellybean, I think I'm just going to have to, ride on Joe's coattails here a little bit and throw a little dig in there. But, I remember seeing a picture of you with that Minnesota Vikings jersey on.
Oh, God.
I don't think we have to talk.
I deserve every bit of that. It's funny, too. I was on this cruise ship, and it's funny, too, y'all. I was on this cruise ship for 7 days, and I wore a different jersey every day. But I had mostly Minnesota jerseys because I'm from Minnesota, right? But I had, I think I got Jerome Bettis, I got Dan Marino, I got Jason Sehorn, somebody else. Anyway, I had on, so these people that, and every team that I had on, they would give me some shit about.
So you just couldn't get away from it.
I just couldn't get away. And then they say, Vikings, Randy Moss, why don't you guys do something about him? That's wrong with him.
Like it was your fault.
Yeah, I'm saying, like it's my fault. He's a great player. I mean, I know he's a knucklehead, but when he's right, nobody can deal with it. They didn't want to hear that.
Right.
They need to trade him. For who? Vikings need all the help they can get. Trust me. Yeah. Joe usually gives me a lot of grief, but I usually can't give him nothing back because the Giants usually, even if they're playing bad, they find a way to get in the playoffs.
Sure.
Every year they're consistent, man. They find a way, no matter how many beatings they take. They find a way to get there, man.
Right. And
I'm impressed.
And Joe and I, having been friends for quite some time, we both Giant fans commiserating with each other, but we did okay this year.
Yeah, y'all did okay. Y'all really did, man. I mean, y'all actually could have won if without that. What happened? It was some last-second stuff that got y'all this year.
Yes, sir.
I remember. I remember seeing Strahan. He was not happy, man.
Not at all.
Man, he was not happy with down, and justifiably so.
So before we cut out,
oh, there we go. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, we had a little echo there going, but I know you're an avid guitar collector. Have you had any more to the collection?
I was in Vegas over the weekend. I just bought another Paul Reed Smith there. I don't know why or how I should be with the bills I got. I shouldn't be, but I'm.
You're a musician.
Yeah.
And you still got the passion.
I can't even give you a good explanation, bro. But yeah, so yeah, I got that. I recently acquired a real Firebird, a Gibson Firebird, which I love and stuff. Ronnie's playing here next weekend. Not this weekend, the following weekend. He's playing at the Music Cafe here, so I'm gonna break that out with him and stuff. And I got made me a couple more Hendrix Strats. I got a polka dot one that with a lefty neck on it and stuff, which people love. So I'd add a few, but I don't know how I've been doing it. Some of them have been bought for me, so that always helps.
Well, I want to thank you, Jellybean, for coming by and being such a great friend to myself and
pleasure,
JD and all those Minneapolis music fans out there digging the special. And we're going to see you Saturday night.
Okay, I'm looking forward to see you guys. I haven't seen you in a while, too.
Yeah,
man.
that's
I'm
right.
looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since Brooklyn out in the park there. So,
yeah, it should be fun, man. It should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the Big Apple.
Yes,
right.
sir. and Jellybean, just from my own, from my own personal side, thanks very much,
thank you
for,
too, JD.
Always, answering the emails and you're taking the time out. It's always great to see you.
You guys are great.
You
are great guys, man. My pleasure.
We sure appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we are going to let our listeners hear something. Some may not be familiar of this, but she's a sister out in Minnesota named Prodigy.
Black Widow. Oh yeah, that's a friend of mine. She's actually a girlfriend of a friend of one of my best friends, Popeye and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Popeye Greer, right?
Yeah, Popeye Greer.
Yeah.
He used to be in Flight Time for Life. He grew up with us, so he's like my big brother now.
Right. And he's doing production work.
Yeah, he has a studio in his house and stuff, and he's more management than production, but he's always been in the scene, man. He worked for Flight Time for a number of years, man.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in the car and the
Janet.
Janet.
In the car in the Janet video,
right,
all
right.
that. Yeah. He's Pop's the man.
So we'll play something from Prodigy, which you are playing guitar in this, right?
Yeah, I did that at their house in their studio.
So they titled it. I don't know if you've seen this. Do you have the CD?
I got a burnt copy of it before it even came out.
Okay,
so I didn't never see the album cover and stuff. Yeah.
It's called Jellybean Johnson UK Bounce Mix.
No, you're kidding me.
That, no joke. Black Widow. It's called
Black Widow. Yeah.
Jellybean Johnson UK Bounce Mix.
That's great, man. I learn something every day, man.
Right.
I'm telling you, I don't be knowing half the things that be going on, man.
Right. So we'll check it out. Hey, Lisa Marie, another lady out of Minnesota, is on next week. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know her too.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's cool.
All right, so we'll see you on Saturday, Jellybean.
Okay, much love to y'all.
Yeah, much love to
Same
you
here,
too.
Jellybean.
Okay.